Hello everyone, I'm Calibro. Welcome to the channel where we explore the beautiful combination of design and deep thought. Today, we'll be delving into a design experiment via the creation of a Nietzschean alphabet. This isn't just about designing letters, it's about translating profound philosophical concept into a visual language. For those unfamiliar, Friedrich Nietzsche was a 19th century German philosopher whose ideas are deeply influential. Although his philosophy covers many topics, we will be highlighting a few key themes. Nietzsche was a radical critic of traditional morality and religion, famously saying, "God is dead." He emphasized the concept of the will to power, to grow into our best selves, and to assert ourselves in situations that require boldness. His work is often communicated in a poetic style, and its intense focus on human existence, suffering, and the potential for greatness. So how do we translate such a complex and often challenging philosophy by turning it into an alphabet? We approach it from a story perspective. Every experience is different, but what we all have in common is the desire to seek pleasure and avoid pain, which often reveals a pattern throughout each life. The first few letters would be bold, clear, and bright, having a sense of energy and optimism. The contents for this section of design would be bright lines, interwoven to begin a strong foundation, thickening over time. Think of it as a new day full of possibilities. This reflects Nietzsche's early works like The Birth of Tragedy, which celebrated the power of art and life. These letters represent the will to power, expanding in its most innocent and hopeful form. For it truly confronts the world's harsh realities. They embody the initial, almost childlike exuberance, representing the initial preparation for embracing what the world has to offer. Then the letters would begin to distort, fragment, and darken, while the strokes become jagged and heavy. It shows an almost gothic influence, or a sense of decay, like twisted roots rattling at the core. These roots represent our fears and insecurities. This is where we see the more jarring side of Nietzsche's philosophy, the ruthlessness that tends to disrupt what many hold dear, upending any sense of comfort and forcing us to find it again. These letters represent the confrontation with nihilism, the weight of the death of God, and the psychological turmoil of reevaluating all values. This serves as the embodiment of the suffering when reevaluating oneself, as if we're forced to look into the abyss. The letter forms would reflect the descent into the depths of human experiences, a journey through doubt and despair. Finally, as we reach the end of the alphabet, we see a transformation. The darkness slowly retreats, integrated and overcome, while revealing something new. The forms will become fluid again, but with a newfound strength. These subtle lines and curves will now suggest growth and resilience instead of purity and optimism. These letters represent the newfound strength in the face of adversity. This is what love of fate is about. Accepting everything that hurts us as important to cultivate our character. This is the reevaluation of values, the creation of one's own meaning, and the embrace of life with all of its complexities. The forms communicate a sense of wisdom. I think that Nietzschean philosophy in this case is a great metaphor for life. We enter a new stage of life with hope that we'll get the most out of it. We get agitated when we realize how challenging the hurdles are, and we find our own ways to adjust. Then again, there are some people who just rather avoid the consequences, to avoid the process of pain and just seek pleasure, or even try to find shortcuts that are usually presented to them by those who just wish to take advantage of them. These are usually the types I find to have the most deeply rooted insecurities. It's very tempting to not take the path of least resistance, to not be willing to feel the pain of change. However, one can either deal with the pain of change or deal with the pain of staying the same. Either way, life will eventually enter a stage of discomfort, and not everyone will stay intact through it all. This suggests a much darker path, a topic that could perhaps be saved for another time. The way I see it, finding motivation to overcome challenges isn't that much of a hassle. It was Nietzsche who said something along the lines of, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Having a sense of purpose tends to help out a lot in life, as it serves as a reminder of what we're fighting for. Motivators like money and attention are attractive early on, but does it really keep us on the path long term? The sense of purpose has to be ingrained with who the person is, what their passions are, and what they truly resonate with. At that point, the tougher stages of life tend to feel that much smaller. What are your thoughts? What other methods do you feel are superior to approaching life's challenges? Feel free to share in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay mindful, stay creative.